Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for the next part on our extended coverage, we're going over many shows because there's a lot to get through of the EICMA show. EICMA, the big motorcycle show that took place in November in Milan, Italy, where all the big manufacturers were launching all sorts of stuff.
This week it's onto the Japanese, specifically Yamaha.
The blue brand. We're going to go all blue today.
Absolutely.
The first one we're going to talk about, there's a few. The T7. Now, we know this, people call it the Tenere 7. It's supposed to be the Tenere 700. We all call it the T7.
T7.
Why wouldn't you?
Interestingly enough, it's Yamaha's best-selling big-ish motorcycle in South Africa. I don't know whether you're aware of that. Adventure is a thing, and they're all over the place.
It's not the most powerful motorcycle, but it is extremely rugged, lightweight, extremely capable, and it's what a lot of people really want.
And I've always liked the fact that it's a simple bike. It's hop on and go and easy to ride and all that. But they couldn't sit still. Yamaha has spent time developing, and from everything that we can see and we've read up on, they've taken feedback from riders.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, okay, it's not a complete revamp. It's more a bunch of updates for this model.
But it is big updates. It's significant updates for the rider.
The motor pretty much stays the same, except that they've got shorter intake ducts.
Yeah. They say it's going to increase the torque.
It just gives it more of a torquey kind of ability, which, all right, did it need more torque before? Why not? Well, it's based essentially on the MT-07 motor. And that's quite a revvy bike, so maybe they kind of said, well, let's make it a little bit more
torquey at the bottom. Yeah. And so that's a great engine. I mean, it's
a lovely engine.
And I can understand why they've powered most of their bikes with it. It's exciting and it's still fresh. It hasn't dated really, Don.
It's still a very exciting motor.
Absolutely.
In terms of kind of the chassis sort of side of it, the tank has been moved, the 60-litre tank has been moved a bit forward and a bit down.
Yep.
Obviously, that's for the weight distribution and all of that.
Correct.
Less top heavy, more weight over the front wheel. That's only good news.
That's due to rider feedback. Quite a few people feel that it feels a little bit top heavy. Personally, I've had no issue with it. When the tank is full, however, all that fuel sitting up here, they moved it down and forward. It makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Don, let's talk about the most significant thing.
Oh, yeah?
They've updated the suspension. That is one of the big beefs that people, and once again, for the average person who rides, I think it's fine. The original KYB stuff felt good to me, but they've done it and they've upgraded everything.
Exactly. So they got suspension KYB 43 millimeters, completely updated.
Yep.
New stuff. An easy adjust KYB rear shock.
Yep.
Which is also going to be very, very good. They've done some more stuff. For example, this makes me laugh. They've beefed up the exhaust bracket. So obviously a few people had an exhaust bracket. Probably South Africans.
They need to, you know, in the long run, I was a little bit disappointed to see that they haven't made a detachable frame. Because the problem is, you fall over and it can bend the subframe, and that means a new chassis, and that's expensive to replace.
More stuff. So the seat design is more roomier, so you can move around a bit more. The foot pegs are a bit wider. That's a bit nicer to sit on. LED headlights, which is very, very, looks better, feels better, better vision, everything like that. Now, the previous one was extremely simple. This one's a little bit less simple, but probably within reason. They've given it a 16-inch TFT dash done kind of vertically. Why not? Everybody's doing it. It's now got a ride-by-wire throttle with rider modes and all of that. I mean, the previous... Although I will admit, a few people did criticize the original T7 that had literally no electronics, although some people love it because then
I'm going to be frank, I like simple. I'm sorry, I like jumping on a bike. I don't like to think what mode am I in, this and that. And Yamaha has always been champion at making things simple. Like, is my ABS on or off? It's got a button. It's not, you don't have to scroll through millions of menus. So let's see when the bike gets you. Let's hope they've kept it simple. 2 rider modes, you've got Sport and Explorer. Explorer is the tamer of the 2 Sport. Obviously, when you're on the road, you can open the throttle. But all good stuff. And Yamaha, we often forget Yamaha is an absolute giant in the trade.
They are huge,
and they're gonna bring something to the party.
The T7. I know he likes it.
I really do. The T7 is. I've never been sold on these massive adventure bikes. I do like them. I'm not knocking them in the slightest. But for me, I don't like to battle along. I just want to go and have a good time. And the T7 is a really great option for the mid-weight motor. It's like KTM 790 as well.
Lovely.
Do I need more horsepower than that? Well, I don't really know. I'm only going to do.
He doesn't.
How fast do you want to go? I mean,
as fast as I can.
However, if you want to talk about technology advances with Yamaha, let's talk about the Tracer, Donovan. It's significant. What these guys have done it's amazing. 3 different models for next year, from what I understand.
Well, it's always had 3 different models. So you get, so it's a Tracer 9.
Yeah.
It's kind of the Sport Tourer.
And the
It's a little
GT.
bit raised up. You get this Tracer 9 standard, the GT and the GT Plus. Now, they've done new things for this thing. It's got new LED matrix headlights. Now, this is a
Matrix.
first in motorcycle.
Matrix.
So what happens is they got a matrix.
Matrix. Have you seen the movie?
course
Years
I've seen The
ago, do you
Matrix.
remember The Matrix?
Yeah,
Come on, now we're off
Keanu
topic
Reeves.
here. Yeah.
So what it does is it's got a camera on the front that recognizes.
Keanu likes
oncoming-
motorbikes. We like him.
He
Go watch
loves
his movie.
motorbikes.
He likes
He's
motorbikes.
one of the coolest guys ever.
Ever.
Keanu Reeves.
100%.
So
What
anyway,
were we talking about?
Matrix
Matrix.
headlights.
Keanu Reeves.
So it's got this. It's got like a sort of the way of from what I can read here. It's got a headlight on the front of the
Yeah.
bike that measures how much headlight it can, how much the beam can actually
Yes.
go. So, for example, if the road ahead of you is empty, it'll go really high beam. If there's someone ahead of you, low beam.
It's another
so it
safety
gives
feature.
you. So instead of just a switch saying high and low,
Yes.
it sort of determines how much beam it can give
You're not
you.
going to blind oncoming traffic, in a
It's
nutshell.
brilliant.
So,
Oh,
yeah, it's
I
cool.
really like that
Anything
idea.
that makes motorcycling safer is a good thing.
Now, of course, it's still got the triple CC, the triple
Oh, it's
890cc
beautiful
motor,
engine.
the one originally in the MT-09, 119 horsepower. It's got an aluminium frame. It's got better ergonomics. So they've changed the ergonomics, but most importantly, and this for me is the big one, because this has been a bugbear for me on all sort of new motorbikes, it's got a softer seat.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
They
Thank goodness.
battle. I don't have an answer. I mean, I'm old school. I had a CB750 with a sheepskin cover on it back in the day. You know what I mean? Now they're going firmer. I don't know. Come on. It's not the end of the world.
It's still got a TFT dash. Hopefully, remember the last one had that like
Yeah, it was cool.
lightsaber kind of thing. That's
Yo,
very cool.
Very nice.
The GT and the GT Plus models get connectivity and navigation and all of that.
Yeah.
And then the GT Plus gets radar cruise control. So you're not gonna. So not only does it shine the headlight how far you want it, you're not gonna crash into the car ahead of you.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
Go on.
Okay. Now last week we spoke about KTM bringing out an automatic manual transmission. The MT-09 is getting a thing called not AMT. It's called YAMT. Basically, it's Yamaha automatic manual transmission.
YAMT. I'm sure there was a song about that.
You're not dressed correctly.
Probably
for it.
before your time.
So okay,
They're all going that way.
They're going this way.
They're all
How it
going that
works
way.
is it's not an automatic gearbox like in a car. Those are big and heavy and weigh a ton. What it is basically a manual transmission, except instead of you pushing a lever and then it moving all the cogs, it moves all the cogs automatically. Whereas you got Honda's got the dual clutch DCT thing.
Yeah.
This is one clutch, but it moves all the cogs for you. So very simple. It's got no clutch. And you can go into automatic mode, or you can choose the gears yourself.
And you shouldn't
all that
stall.
kind of
You
thing.
jump on, open the throttle, and
Well,
away you
basically,
go.
the MT-09 is used it's a sporty bike, but it's used a lot for sort of commutering.
Yeah.
And that is really where this helps. I mean,
Yeah.
no clutching through the traffic and all of
Absolute.
that. Much more comfortable.
And I think they've been quite smart, because that CP3 engine it's a gem. Triumph is very well known for their triples, but Yamaha started probably before they did, all
very
those
well.
years ago, and
Yeah.
man, oh man, they built a beautiful triple
So it's
motor.
it's still 3-cylinder inline triple, 119 horsepower, 93 newton meters, and it's 196 kilograms wet with this. It's only 2.8 kilograms heavier with this new automatic manual transmission, and that seems to be the way things are going.
And 2.8 kilos low down on a road bike, especially a sports tourer
It's
like
not
this,
going to make a difference.
you won't even know it's there.
But it's nice. I mean, I don't believe it's going to be the standard. I believe you can choose which one you want, a bit like
Absolute.
Honda. But I think more and more people are going to go this way. So there we go. Last little update here. Well, 2 more little updates. The R1. Now they've stopped making the R1 as a road model because, quite frankly, they then have to upgrade it to Euro 5 Plus, which is going
Yeah.
to cost millions and millions. And superbikes are not selling well enough. So what they're doing is they're making the R1 track only.
order only.
Order
I know.
only,
Yeah.
no catalytic converter, no lights, 200 horsepower, plus it's got upgraded MotoGP aero wings. So
Yeah.
if you want a really great track bike, go for that one.
You talk about technology trickling down. All the latest bikes are getting these updates. Everyone's getting wings, and we don't like them in MotoGP particularly because it's making the racing a little bit boring. But they are making their way onto road bikes, and this is a dedicated track bike, I suppose it kind of makes sense. And carbon fiber, Don. Carbon
Lots of
fiber
carbon fiber
bodywork.
everywhere.
It's beautiful. There's no
It's going
question.
to cost a bit of money, but it's track only. But
Yeah.
you know, we're glad they're
What's
still
a bit
around.
of money between friends, though? Hey,
Exactly.
that's the big thing. Yeah.
Last one for Yamaha, the little R3.
Yes.
Lovely little motorcycle. Does very well in the Super Sport 300 category. So, yeah, very well liked, especially in Europe. What they've done is they haven't really upgraded the motor much. They upgraded the look. So it's going to look like the new Yamaha R9.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a pretty little
cool.
thing. And it's going to look very cool. It's got a 321cc motor still. 42 horsepower plus 29.5 newton meters of torque. Absolutely bang on.
It's a great, if the previous rendition is anything to go by, it's a fun little motorbike to ride. It's good.
It does now get a slipper clutch, which is going to mean lighter lever action and no back wheel hopping. Plus, it's also getting little winglets, which is a little bit funny as far as I'm concerned.
That's cool.
You want to hold the front wheel down on your little R3.
Maybe you can tie it onto the back of the bakkie with those.
I don't know. Yeah.
Let's see how we go,
But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for Yamaha at the EICMA show. Stay tuned. Next week, we're going to bring in you more EICMA show.